Peace, love, and light family. DoMo, the jack of all trades, DoMoJOAT. And today we're going to be discussing and breaking down the digestive system. Now, the digestive system is very important because everybody, especially including you watching this today, you eat something. Everybody's eating something, some form of food. So that means if you're eating something, you're putting some form of food or something inside of your body to digest, your digestive system is being utilized. So as human beings, we need to know how this works and how we can best aid this system in being optimal inside of our bodies and properly functioning, right? So that's simple. Let's look at it. So a lot of people are unaware that, your teeth, your oral cavities, your mouth is actually a part of your digestive system, because where does the food go first? Inside of your mouth. And that is where the first process of digestion begins, because you have your eyes that actually sees the food, right? And what that does is sends a signal to your salivary glands. These glands are acting, and then what happens is that they send saliva to the mouth, right? And then and your mouth gets watery when you actually see the food. And also when you smell the food that you like. That's why your senses play a very big role, right? Inside of your life in general. But now that when you put the food inside of your mouth already has saliva in it. Why? Because it wants the food to go down as a liquid substance. It doesn't want it to go down as a solid, because the food has to travel down the esophagus, right? The food that you eat every day, if you're eating 3 meals a day, right? Whatever you're putting inside of your mouth, if it's regardless if it's vegetables or fruits, or if it's starch and dairy, right? It has to go down this tube, this esophagus, right? And then it goes down here and it has to sit inside of the stomach, right? Inside of the hydrochloric acid. Now inside of here, right, the food sits here, and sometimes, if you have the proper food source and things of that nature, what it is that certain foods will go through different tubes, and this food has to pass through the duodenum to get to the intestines, things of that nature. It has to break down. But remember, when the food comes down the esophagus and goes to the stomach, it's sitting inside that acid to break down. That's what that hydrochloric acid is there to help break down this food. But at the same time, you have the saliva inside of your mouth, and your teeth are there to help break down this food. This is why you have 32 teeth. Your teeth are meant to chew and grind and break down the food. This is why you have them. So you have to utilize them. But when we look now, most of our people, they take 2-3 bites and they just swallow and expect the body to do the rest of it. 65% of your body's energy goes to digesting food, right? So where does that other energy go? I mean, if you're, just think about it. If you're actually aiding the body in releasing less energy, or not having to release so much energy because you're actually chewing your food, right? And it doesn't have to dehydrate you and pull water from your lymphatic system to actually get it down there to the stomach and to the esophagus to help break down that food. So this all plays a role. So you want to clean this out, right? All of this is inside the digestive system. What else you have inside your digestive system is the intestinal walls. So we're going to deal with the small intestine first. Small intestines, what you have is these little things called villi and microvilli. Inside of these little microorganisms, these things, they're like little hairs. And inside of the intestinal walls, this is the villi. And what the villi does, this thing is what is absorbing the nutrients. So when you're eating fruits, and you're eating vegetables, you're eating natural ancient grains, you're eating seeds and things of that nature, and the food is passing through here, remember, it's not coming in here as a solid, because it wouldn't be able to even break it down. It would be like, what is this? It would seem foreign. So it's coming in there as a liquid substance, and what is happening is that it's spinning inside of the intestinal walls and things of that nature. And what happens is that the hairs catch on. They catch on to the nutrients, and they absorb them, right? They absorb them, and this is how the nutrients get inside of your body through your intestinal walls. But when you're eating things like dairy, starch, these things turn into like gluey-like substances inside of the body. Why? Because the body is 98.5 Fahrenheit, right? Natural body temperature. And so if you're eating something that's either less than that or higher than that, the body's going to heat it up or cool it down. When that happens to that, like rice, it's going to boil inside the body, and it's going to turn into like a glue-like substance. That's what happens, and what that does, it clogs up the intestinal wall. Same thing happens with dairy. if you was to take cheese or some kind of any form of cheese and just burn it, you can see that it doesn't break down. It just turns black. So it's literally, that's what's happening inside of the body. It's not breaking down, right? And that's a lighter that you're applying to some cheese and it's not breaking down. So imagine what is that doing inside of your intestinal wall? That is clogging all of this up. Meat, same thing. It's like a lot of science also shows that it takes close to a week to 2 weeks just for food to actually break down forms of meat. So when you're talking about that clogs up the intestinal walls. So when the intestinal walls get clogged up, nutrients are not being absorbed. So that means that you're eating and the food is just going in and it's not even coming out. And remember, when your intestinal walls also clogged up, that causes severe constipation. So that means that you're not getting waste out. That means waste is just stuck in and you're not absorbing nutrients at the same time. So this is how important the digestive system is. Same thing dealing with the large intestine, right? Because once the food passes through, because first of all, your intestinal walls, your small intestine is about 20 to 25 feet long. If you were to take it out of your body, it stretches this very long, right? So remember, this is all clogged up right here. The small intestines are clogged up into this one small little area. Check this out, right here. You see? That is your small intestines. So the food literally has to break down into a liquid substance from the stomach with the help of the hydrochloric acid. And then, it's ATP and all these other things basically are passed through the duodenum to get to the liver. That's how energy, ATP, is stored inside of the liver. All this is stemming and coming from the digestive system. This is all part of the digestive system. So this is how this all works. So this is why it plays a very big role. The small intestines, like I said, 20 to 25 feet long, all that is clogged up. So remember, the food that we're eating has to pass through all of that to then get to the large intestines. This is how we get here. Then you have the ascending, transverse, and descending colon, and this is where the waste is going. So the waste is going to be coming down here to the rectum, and then you're supposed to be getting that out. But if you're clogged up, it might get stuck in the small intestines, and you're not even getting it. So if you're eating 3 meals a day and you bust a turd once a week, constipation, that is bad. That is not a good thing. And if your doctors is telling you otherwise, you need to question them. This is something that people are dealing with all the time. This is something really simple. They're not going to the bathroom. If you eat every day, you need to go to the bathroom every day. And how you go to the bathroom and how your bowel movements look and how your urination looks shows you what's going on in your body. These are showing you signals and things of that nature. So we need to be actually paying attention to all of those things. The liver, the biggest detoxing organ. Biggest, the largest one. This is why I have my liver cleanse on my website, DoMoJOAT.com. Check it out. You know what I'm saying? But the liver is attached to every other bodily organ, and its main purpose is for detoxification. It prevents shortage of nutrients by storing minerals and vitamins. Watch my video on vitamins. You know what I'm saying? And sugar and things of that nature. It produces proteins. Watch my video on proteins. You know what I mean? Where I break down, is protein real? What is protein? Do we need protein by the body? It also produces a bile compound needed to digest fat and absorb vitamins. Vita meaning vita, life, amines, nitrogen containing compounds, right? Remember, your liver is actually helping aid and get rid of nitrogen. So just do your due diligence, do your research. Don't take my word for it. Do your research, right? And yeah, so this video is basically where we break down the digestive system and how we can best aid it. And so to conclude, we have to be mindful of the food that we're putting inside of us. We have to be mindful of what we're actually putting in there to know what's going to be coming out. So simple. We should be going to the bathroom every day. We should be cleansing and getting our digestive system back in track. We should be absorbing minerals and nutrients inside of our intestinal walls. How can we do that? By putting proper foods in there that is actually hydrophilic and not hydrophobic. Your body is not 80 to 90% water, just like fruits. This is another reason why we eat fruits. And get that natural fuel and that source from fruits. It skips digestion. Your body is fruits are 80 to 90% water. Your body doesn't have to break down fruits. Your body doesn't have to exert any energy to break it down. You can break a fruit down which is the top and bottom of your part of your lip. You sometimes don't even need your teeth because they're just water. So, and it also fuels you at the same time. So your body is not exerting any energy to digest the food. So 65% of that energy that digests food the energy is not being put there. So it can be utilized elsewhere. At the same time, you're fueling yourself with the fruit. Think about it. Don't live to eat. Eat to live. Peace and love.